Picture this. You're bored on the weekend and decide to buy an unassuming game because why not? If it's good, then it's good. If it's whatever, at least you have something to pass the time. But then you start playing, and you suddenly get it. The air becomes fresher, colors pop out much more, your nasal passages become unclogged, and of course it's probably not that dramatic, but some games do way more than you expected them to. Addictive gameplay, a gripping story, or you just never notice the time pass by. The last of which is most applicable to Stardew Valley. Now everyone has sung its praises enough, and the craziness mainly stems from how a calm, relaxing, and small indie game as such amassed over 30 million copies sold. But it just goes to show that some people just prefer something that's calm, something that's relaxing, and something that's a game. But that's not all. For about $16, depending on where you live, you get a great game that's part life sim, spelunking, farming, and most importantly fishing. With new content being added for free through updates, this is definitely a keeper. Perhaps the game stands out for its inventive mechanics. In Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, and by association Shadow of War, the Nemesis system is an incredible mechanic that makes the game memorable. First of all, it allows players to target specific orc leaders. These leaders will have notable traits such as certain fears and feats the players can take note of during battle. But most notable of all, these orcs have a memory. For instance, if the player burns a leader's face during an encounter, and that leader survives that encounter, he will remember that the player did so the next time they fight. The burned face probably also helps with that. And given they survived the initial encounter with the player, they'll probably be... It adds to the idea that the player is truly a threat. They'll probably be promoted. What makes this system great is how the world becomes more immersive and the NPCs have actual weight and are more than just hunks of meat to slash through. It's a huge shame the system is now patented. After the bore that was beyond two souls, people were ready to settle with no more interactive choose-your-own-adventure-esque games. That is, until dawn. Nothing makes player engagement higher by having a likable cast of characters led by talented actors and actresses, and making each one highly susceptible to dying. Like, really badly. The reliance on QTEs doesn't feel contrived since one false move can really spell death.
Boom. Butterfly effect.
P.S. My friend and I totally put the PS4 controller down on the ground for the last few don't move segments. Don't shame us, we really want everyone to live. When the reveal for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was released, reception was definitely there. I mean, XCOM 2 but Mario? Rabbids? Rabbids? This is definitely one for the books based purely on shock value. But the game itself? Well, its turn-based combat is actually pretty fun and well fleshed out, and the humor is clever at points. But still, Rabbids? What can be said about the Pokemon series as a whole can be said for other franchises. Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem, The Elder Scrolls. And what exactly can you say? The fact all of them took a big risk, but Pokemon is huge. Games, anime, movies, the obvious card game, action figures, plushies, beanbag chairs. That's how you know when your franchise made it. The series almost wasn't made, and the developers, Game Freak, were close to bankruptcy. But look at them now. Sleeping Dogs! Isn't that just a GTA club? Nah, it's something else. It does have similar aspects to the huge series, but like, come on, martial arts? Of course, that isn't the only thing this game has going for it. A rich and detailed depiction of Hong Kong, barring console limitations of course. A glimpse into the doings of an undercover cop in a triad. Fun and smooth combat and, is that Emma Stone? Joking aside, Sleeping Dogs did what a new game should do best. Be something fresh. There's games that are surprisingly good. Then there's games that are obviously good. Then there are games that everyone knew would obviously be good but turned out to be completely amazing. That's the case with Supergiant Games' Hades. Fast-paced and satisfying combat is all you could ask for in a roguelite, especially when the biggest hurdle is starting a new run. But not only that, there's accurate yet fresh portrayals of Greek mythological figures and a strong narrative. A definite resume entry for sure. Rising from the ashes is what Final Fantasy XIV did. It fell short of expectations. Bland gameplay, a messy UI, an unfinished and unpolished feel in general. With two development teams working on the current version and a secret update, the MMO relaunched as a Realm Reborn after the old Final Fantasy XIV was destroyed. No, I mean it. It literally got destroyed. A Realm Reborn features improved everything. Combat, progression, and that damn UI. Everyone does love a good comeback story.